guys, Damo here again. I've had some coaching clients ask me, how do I resolve conflict? You know, people that are coming into a lot of people throughout the day because of their work, and they're seeing, tension and friction and survival behavior, and they feel like they're treading on eggshells. So, what can we do? How can we dismantle that and be able to have a transaction with that person that's healthy, that's positive, and both people feel heard? And I think that's where I want to start, is that everyone needs to feel like they have a voice. And often when people move into that contracted survival state, it's because they feel like their opinion, their voice has been taken from them. So what I've personally found is that, we all need to be able to agree to disagree. It's okay for us to have our own unique take on things. There's this big push, especially through politics and the media, that there's this side and that side. This guy's wrong, this guy's right. It's junk, it's absolute rubbish. The world is far more beautiful and complex and intricate than that. There can be validity to both sides. There can be, there's a whole myriad of things in any transaction, any debate, any conversation. And so rather than separating to this polarity, this side and this side that are against each other, you can do things like feed that other person's need, feed their need to be heard and to have a voice, and to say, you make some really good points there. And then maybe elaborate on what they've said. And then if you're in a congruent state and you're balanced, and then you just share your light back on them, I've found that generally that conflict doesn't take place. If we try and beat them or compete with them or believe we act sanctimonious and we're better than them, then pain feeds pain. And I think many of you would have already experienced this, that when you are met with pain or aggression, if you get angry and frustrated and put it back on that person, it amplifies that frequency. So the best way to dismantle someone who's in a frustrated state, or someone who's acting out of their pain body, out of their survival behaviors, is to hold presence, is to hold a space for them, and to lead with love. And when you are that beacon of someone who is balanced, assertive, congruent, and loving, it's pretty hard to stay in your crappy mood. Some people will, for sure, and you've got to send them love and send them on their way. Anyway, I digress. The point here is just, first of all, to make sure that they feel like they are heard. There's no point in competing back with them. All you're going to do is spiral down, the two of you, into the lowest form of consciousness that you both have. So as I said, allowing them to have their voice and have their opinion. 2 would be, pointing out that they make some great points. If you don't feel they've made any great points, then I'm not saying be artificial and just make it up in any way, shape or form. But if you can go through it as they're talking and see where they're coming from, and then say some of that back to someone, then they feel like they've been heard. 3 is to lead with love. Love and actually understanding. Because when we lead with love and understanding, we understand that we all have our own life story. We all have our own upbringing, our own perception, our own beliefs about how the world functions and how it doesn't function. So compassion and understanding that we're all in this together and we don't want to create more separation. This is really about coming back to love and understanding for one another. And beyond that, I would say that you can voice your truth and share your truth, but then there are also times where if you're just trying to push your opinion on someone, it can actually amplify it and make the situation worse. So it's a big thing I had to learn in my journey, is you can really gauge where people are at in their life, in their journey, and seeing a sticky situation that's at boiling point and then going to push your belief back on someone, often in that scenario, it's not worth it. A good example there is sometimes with our family, because it's so close, that family pain, that family survival mechanism, it's the mirror, it's where yours comes from, with your own family. So often it's just better off to hold that presence and hold that space, and then go and chat with one of your girlfriends or one of your buddies about it. Look, I heard someone say the other day, only deal with the present moment when dealing with your loved ones. So if you feel you need to get something off your chest, do it in a loving, congruent way. Don't make a spectacle out of it. Take the higher ground and pull someone aside and confide in them if you feel they've crossed the line. But just understand that you can't harbour things against people and then, 6 months later you've got it in the back pocket and Philip over there's pissed you off and you're like, well, out with the booklet, on March 12, and you go through the list. I think that's unfair, to be honest with you. I think always remember to deal in the present moment with your loved ones. Otherwise, you'll never escape the past. And that's a recipe for disaster. The other thing you can do is just assume positive intent with people. So maybe they don't have positive intent, but I can tell you, if you assume that people do, it just makes the whole experience a lot easier. It's a lot easier for you to hold space for them and to have the love and understanding and to get a better result out of the interaction. So it's called a reframe. You just reframe what's going on, and whatever you perceive then will be your experience of it. So assume positive intent from the other person or the other people. And then the other thing that you can always ask yourself, every day, every morning I ask this of myself, is how can I be of service? So if you go to give, in every interaction that you have with other people. Give all that incredible wisdom and that beauty that you have inside you. Just go to share it, go to give. And if it's not about you needing to justify or get validation for something, because you know your truth and you're centered and grounded, then you won't need to get something back from that person. You're just truly there to be of service. And what could be greater than that? What could be greater than us all just going to serve every day with everyone, regardless? So anyway, there's just a couple of steps there. We could elaborate a lot further on that, but I don't want to complicate it. I really hope it's helped someone out there in some way. It's given you some insight or some tools you can take away. So yeah, wherever you are in the world, sending you light and love. Cheers.